It's another edition of Checking In with Heiny and Johnny, where the hosts bring in mystery topics that neither host knows anything about until the mics go hot and on the air. We are the show that keeps the host from talking about the weather and World War II 24 hours a day. Hey, Heiny, man, what's on your mind?
What's happening, Johnny?
Well, it's been a delightful summer day. We've had many delightful summer podcasts, and this is another one of them. Any health concerns we need to know about? Did you have any things clipped off or tied this week?
No, nothing that's going to affect my volleyball game.
lot of sets and kills going on every week.
It's the bump. It's the bump that you really want to like. Ooh,
nice.
Ooh, be careful with.
Were you a huge volleyball player as a Ute?
Huge? No, I was tall.
Oh.
No. You're talking to a man who virtually did nothing until age 19.
Nice. I was part of the nothing. Because
did you play volleyball? Do you play beach volleyball?
Just no beach volleyball, because that would have gotten the ladies, and that would have been out of my realm. But
not like on Top Gun, where you're out
there were
working out with Val Kilmer,
glistening biceps bulging as I did a sweet serve. No, I did just fun intramural fun volleyball, but I loved it. It is a fun sport because you can play it.
I avoided anything that might be paired up with the Kenny Loggins song, Playing with the Boys.
Speaking of albums, like Kenny Loggins, there were 3 albums that everybody had when we were actively in school. It was Fleetwood Mac Rumors, Led Zeppelin 4, and Peter Frampton Comes Alive. Did you own any of those 3?
All 3.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. Every single person that I knew owned those 3, and because they were incredibly great at the time. There was nothing like it. Interesting.
Yes, interesting. Yes, very much. Go. What? You liked what?
Well, once I got an album, I have a little bit of a problem, and I'll ask you if you have the problem. Do you become obsessive with items that you buy other than cars? Is there anything else that you have a problem with as far as habitually purchasing and reading about? And
funny you should ask, Johnny, at this time, because what I've recently come into is, I don't know, it's kind of a niche thing, but I enjoy collecting vintage toasters. Have toasted bread in the morning is one of our favorite things. And I think as Americans, do you have, from your childhood, do you have any especially favorite and or memorable toasters in your life?
I do not. It did not get into my psyche. My wife loves to buy toasters, so as an adult, I have owned easily 40 different toasters in my adult life, which I should not have, but she loves toasters.
Did you ever, like this Star brand Mary Proctor from the 60s, did you, this is the one where when you put the toast in, through some sort of magic from the people at Lucas Electrics, the toast automatically drops into the toaster and then starts cooking.
Whoa, it has a levitation effect.
Like, it works like magic. Woof, you put the toast in, or English muffin, whatever
Ooh.
your desire is.
Whatever
and
floats your boat.
it automatically goes down and starts cooking if you can find all the right replacement parts for it. It works probably on some little heated spring that you might have difficulty getting these days.
I'll bet you would.
A
And
new
they break a lot.
centerpiece of our collection here, of course, is this Sunbeam A20.
Ooh, it looks like an Airstream RV.
It's got the little Art Deco design there. I don't know when. We haven't tested that little baby, but ooh,
Looking forward to it.
can't wait.
I love it. And when did this kick in? I mean, is this a recent in the last decade, or when did those ladies catch your eye that toasted bread?
Last night, when, when I realized I still had them and needed something to talk about on the show.
So that's how that went. I see. Well, you do have cool vintage toasters. I have never owned like a cool one. I have just owned standard, brand new, non-Sunbeam toasters.
Well, there's a whole world out there of collectible toasters, and they're available on eBay from, a vintage unit that you might use some kerosene with from back in the 1920s. And
Wow.
Johnny, oddly, as I look at your face now, maybe people who are just listening can't see. It appears as though you have just popped out of the toaster.
I admit I've had my glam has given me an acid peel that has improved. They said, "Oh, you'll look dazzling," and instead, I'm just raw. It looks like I've been in the Mojave, and I have been scorched by the sun. The acid pill is not as advertised.
Come
No.
on, you didn't really get an acid peel. You fell asleep under the sun lamp.
No, that would be that would be outside of my circle of comfort because it requires people to come near me. I do not like people touching me. Do you like it when you get a haircut?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fall asleep during the haircut.
Wow.
They're combing my hair. They don't realize how stimulating it is as they comb and brush my hair, and then they hear the noise, and then they say, "Out,
Yeah,
get out
done.
of the barber shop."
Well, we can see that Jose A. Bear has done a great job. You're well coiffed today. So you must have had a good nap yesterday and got a good haircut. So they say that stimulating the scalp and skin, if you do that regularly enough, you can help improve the removal of the toxins and plaques on your brain. So maybe if we went to the barber every day and they stimulated our stuff under our skin, we would not get dementia.
Where do you? So that would, and then of course I'd stop finding my phone in the fridge. What? So was this in Look magazine? You read this article?
Since you mentioned my 1947 Life magazine had a little massager that looked like something that you would use to hold on smoked oysters at Christmas. You just turn it the other way and you put it up and down on your head. I guess you could do it in other regions as well for more exciting things, but I digress. They say that they did a study with tiny mice. They put little massaging helmets on mice, and the mice didn't develop dementia. So they have theorized that all we need to do is put on a little massaging helmet every night, and we will release plaque from our brains, and we will not be subject to dementia.
Boy, I'd love to figure out who paid for that study.
Yeah, they did not.
These are little $20 million massaging helmets for mice.
Each massaging helmet is $200,000. It's tiny. That's why it's so expensive, Henry. I need more money. It's a tiny helmet. It's the tiniest of helmets. But you could really help the science if you give me another $500,000.
The progress of mankind.
That's right. That's right. They also say, I don't know if you have anyone other than your sister that's into the homeopathic items, but stimulating the vagus nerve also helps and improves your overall health. The vagus nerve. I think it's the nerve that does most of the betting, does most of the sports book. At least that's
I
what
probably don't have one of those. That could
They
be
say-
my problem.
They say humming, singing, humming, massaging of the vagus nerve activates it, and it's good for your overall health. Have you ever heard of the vagus nerve?
I never have, and mostly when I go to Vegas, I like to eat. I'm looking for the food.
Man,
The slot machine. If I touch the slot, they say if you have feelings of regret of losing money, you might be a problem gambler.
I'm a problem
Man, I
gambler.
just lost $3.
Yes.
And that's a Diet Coke I'm never getting back.
If that's the rule, then I have a horrible problem gambling. I despise losing money. I mean, I hate it. Like you say, $3. I'm like, what the? Who did I just give that $3 to? Yeah, not a fan.
Right, that's $3 I could have spent on a bag of English muffins to just jam into my Sunbeam T20. Or
Well, it has nooks and crannies, Henry. It's the nooks and crannies that really make the English muffin.
when you go to Las Vegas, do you ever steal the little marmalades from the restaurant? They have the whole stack of them, and the orange marmalade is fabulous, and it is, and there's a whole big stack of them.
Delicious. I do.
And you just paid $75 for
Yes.
Eggs Benny, and it's like,
Take
I'm
some
going to
home.
enrich in this little project by taking a pocket full of these orange marmalades.
Yeah, I love the mini ketchups and marmalades and every syrup, the little baby syrup bottles. I really love miniature versions of items that I can steal.
Do you ever steal the Marmite?
No, Vegemite and Marmite will not be stolen, and it's probably not stolen by anyone because it's disgusting.
I think Marmite was invented during an unusually heavy bombing, and but whenever it is offered, it's like, oh, Marmite, I've got to support the brand, so I have some salty crap on my toast
Oh, it is foul.
and
It
smile
is,
while eating it.
yeah, really unpleasant food item. But I mean, literally, people eat sardines for breakfast. So what am I to? I mean, I have no taste, obviously.
I got my 7-year-old niece the other day. On Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
On
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day, if we travel back in time, suddenly we were going to a party, and I was informed that I was to provide an hors d'oeuvre. So I turned to the refrigerator, and our little collection of dishes that my wife, who shall remain unnamed, told me could never leave the house. And so I took the little relish tray and I started filling it with odds and ends from the refrigerator.
Sure.
Like, here's some Dave's hot pickles.
Olives.
Here's some old olives.
Baby onions.
And then I finally got to, there's one tray left. Oh, sardines. Boom. So I packed in the sardines. And that little relish tray was annihilated. And the
Really?
final item was, when I got there, I challenged my 7-year-old niece, who is just turned 7, probably was 6 at the time of this. But I said, I'll give you $5 if you eat this item. I did not tell her it was a fish that had been basting in oils.
Oily.
Who knows how long in my closet.
A long time.
And so I pulled it out, and to my amazement, she sucked it right down and then said, "Oh, that was good."
Wow.
I immediately had to hand over $5.
Bold taste, right? That's not the kid's normal. A 6-year-old's palate is not usually that delicate. I like it.
No, it was amazing. She just said, "Oh, that was good. I think I'll have another."
Wow. And how often do you eat oil-encrusted fish?
Not often enough, Johnny.
Yeah.
Not often enough. I have several cans in there. I especially favor anchovies.
Okay. That is also an acquired taste, I believe.
Once, Johnny, we were at Indianapolis Raceway Park. That's not the Speedway; it's the little place. And we're doing an engine swap on a Formula Ford with just some 2x4s and a chain. And somebody showed up from Pizza Hut with an anchovy pizza. And when they popped open the box, I gasped. Each slice of pizza had an entire big fish on it.
That's awesome.
And I dropped my wrenches and went over and just started stuffing my pie hole with that pizza.
Nice.
And I've never seen a pizza of that style before or since.
No. The proprietor of that pizza place was losing money. You can't put that much. You can't put that many on one single order.
No, it was one big fish. It was like a 8-inch anchovy that they had caught and specially filleted and put onto one slice. Heaven, Johnny, heaven.
I love it. I'm glad that it brightens your eyes. You are, as you tell the story, you are ebullient.
No, that was an acid peel.
No, I spent some time in the sun. Yeah, I spent some time in the sun and got sunburned, and my wife said, "You are an idiot, as usual. Don't get cancer again." And I said, you got to die of something. May as well die with a cocoa hue tan. And in my case, a red, puffy, sore face. I never get cocoa chocolatey hues. Do you suntan well?
Well, is it real or is it a spray-on? Was it the big question?
Yeah, I do not.
Do I tan well?
I don't tan well. My Swedish-Irish heritage keeps me from tanning really well. It's mostly just this is it. Just shiny.
I tan like the underside of a sardine.
The fish-themed episode.
It's a toast-themed episode.
We have
toast. We focus on the product.
We have a very eclectic niche audience. Google sent me an email and said, "Your videos are a little too niche.
Well, it's
YouTube,
whatever we can do to drive away our listeners.
yes. Our usual topics repel regular people, and they gave us some advice. This is the advice. They said, "We notice that your topics never have repeat views. So as a help to you, I would like to tell you what it is you could do to improve the number of people watching your podcast." This was the advice word for word. Do something that people want to watch. That was
I
literally.
figured it would be speed up the play. Just take it to 1.5 or consider 2.5 times.
So I'm like, if Henry and I knew something that people would want to watch, we would have already done it. So thanks for the hint, but it's not that helpful. This is it. We don't know anything that people will want to watch. Sorry, Google. Keep your money.
I think we've got, I think if you really focus, people are listening. They love it. They
Yeah,
love
secretly.
the toaster talk.
Love the sardine. The TikTok is red hot for poop conversation.
So where did you achieve this radiant glow? What was the activity?
What was the activity? Summer is now in full swing, as everyone knows, and I decided to let this body live in public. I went on the deck. I turned on some TV and watched television while I got a suntan, which turned out to be just a burn on my face. So, yay!
Did you baste yourself with baby oil?
Well, because I wanted to attract burns, I went with the Crisco that you slather on that's white, and as you get more and more burnt, it bubbles and turns clear. So that's what I went with. I started out full of delightful marshmallowy looking slather and ended with just a burn, a 3rd-degree burn.
I slightly chuckle. Not that this is funny, because it's not a funny topic, but I always chuckle a little. Well, I don't chuckle, I smirk and maybe gurn whenever they say that, Diddy was found with 3 AK-47s, 12 ounces of cocaine, and a bottle of baby oil. It's like, that combination's illegal. It was good until you added the baby oil.
It makes for a lot of images in our minds when those are the 3 items. I love
think it's an old joke that it's been going around, the Diddy oil, but
Yeah.
But I finally got it. And they're on together talking. Oh, and baby oil was also found at the crime scene.
When we taped it off, there was loads of baby oil. It was found by the CSI.
I was always a Hawaiian tropic guy. That smell.
It smells like summer.
It smells like something.
I can tell you that it is so popular that they have a perfume that is called Beach that smells like tanning oil, and it's very popular because everybody loves that memory, I guess, sense memory.
Yeah, I think it was Cosmo Kramer who invented that.
As he should.
Did you ever go to any of the, back in the day when things were a little more wild and free, and before a COVID-19 mask became, like the last straw? Did you ever go to the Hawaiian Tropic suntan contests that they had back
I never
in the
did.
70's?
I never did. Was it a ball of fun?
Oh, I never went. I could never tell, on this show. But I was,
Ah,
oh, yes. I used to go and cheer and stand on a little can in Sugar House Park so I could be taller than everyone else. And no, that wasn't,
no, that
no,
would
that
never have
wasn't my
happened.
thing. I don't like it.
We get a lot. We hate it. We hate all kinds of oiled up bodies. It's very bad. We don't like it.
That is why, the Islamics invented the burqa. Because this is, yeah, no, not to be seen.
No, it's seen and also not to be heard. There is a thing about that culture that not to be heard or seen or
Yeah.
eat.
The 70s was this, wild time. I think it was Farrah Fawcett that really spawned it. Farrah Fawcett and Hawaiian Tropic Tanning Oil. And it made us tolerate the fact that on Charlie's Angels, she drove a Mustang too.
Oh, not a good car. Not a good car.
But we looked past all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've blocked out the ugliness of our youths. When we sit with our psychiatrist, they tell us what we have problems with. It's always your mom and dad. But we've blocked out many of the youthful things that we did because it was like driving in a Mustang 2. A K car is about as exciting as the Mustang 2.
At least the K car was, really represented. This was, it's like this is a really cheap car. The Mustang 2 was supposed to be hot.
It was not.
It was like trying to pass it off on us as a hot car.
No, Lee Iacocca was not giving the thumbs up on that.
Well, he'd moved over to the K car.
Yeah.
He'd gone from the Mustang to the K car. I'm going to save Chrysler.
I'm going to save it. Were you one of those folks that bought all the red hot books back in the 70s? Things like Lee Iacocca's book or Jaws. Jaws turned 50 a few weeks ago. Did you buy all these books that were red hot?
I just, when you say red hot, I always thought you would be referring to like how to pick up chicks. Or, or perhaps We magazine. I don't know.
Obviously, you did not. You were not.
Did not buy Lee Iacocca's book. Maybe I should have. If I focused there, it would have just been, then I'd maybe have said I should go get a job.
Speaking of no job, have you ever been so poor that you had to split up a purchase between 2 credit cards?
Well, not this week. Always, I'm stealing marmalade from the hotels. That's, the little soaps.
The towelettes.
I was like, in my 1974 Book of World's Records, they always had the world's richest miser. And it's like, who looks into the Book of World's Records and says, that's the one I want to be listed as?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm combining, I'm miserly and just banking it. And then they said it, he once saved 6 little soap scabs in a dish. That was his caption under his picture of the world's richest miser.
Henry, okay, I'm going to call Guinness and I'm going to let them know I have the world's largest genital wart. No, you don't. You don't. No, thank you.
What was the other one? The other day they shattered, this world's record was just recently shattered. It was the loudest burp. It was the loudest burp, and I think it hit 107 decibels. That's really loud, right? I don't think, my uncorked Renault Dauphine engine won't make that much noise. And then it's like, at what range? Is that like does the guy have to lean over to you in the movie theater and let it rip right in your ear
In your ear.
after an
Yeah.
especially spicy Diet Coke?
He had he popped a couple of Mentos, got a 2-liter jug of Coke, and just splooshed it into his mouth.
It's probably Joey Chestnut going for another world's record.
Another world record. There was controversy last year. He signed a deal, I guess previously, to eat vegan hot dogs. I guess he had a deal with them. So they wouldn't let him do the Nathan's hot dogs eating contest. He's back in it this year. So happily, we enjoyed the fact that he could eat regular meat hot dogs again.
There's and you know, I mean, you think meat hot dogs have a lot of chemicals in them? Get those homegrown vegan babies are gonna be.
Yeah, it's mostly rodent entrails and hair from
Those are the meat ones. The vegan ones are gotta be like, you know, CO2 propellant, styrofoam. Ugh.
Yeah, the vegan burgers that I have eaten are not quite yet the right spot, unless it's just a big, barbecued mushroom. I mean, I've had delicious portobello mushrooms that are barbecued and put into a dish, and that's delicious. But that is not what you get when you're buying vegan versions. A vegan turkey is not a delicious portobello mushroom.
I accidentally ordered an Impossible burger at Burger King.
Yeah.
It was an accident. It was like, oh, this is the Impossible burger.
It's firm. It's firm in texture. The stuff that I eat at Burger King, I ask them, what's the most chemically imbalanced, bloated chemical and coloring item? And they always tell me, it's the How to Train Your Dragon Whopper. So I'll get that. It's injected with purple dye, and it has ridiculous amounts of condiments and artificial items. And that's what I get when I go to Burger King. So for those of us who are crazy, that's the Burger King thing to buy.
There's always those onion rings have an interesting finish. Let's call it a finish when you eat them. And then I think they're probably, come from the Funyun factory.
Yes. The texture in the mouth of the Funyuns is really unforgettable, isn't it? It's kind of like, I took a banana and coated it with lard and then put it in my mouth but didn't swallow, and it just stays all day. Just the Funyun follow through.
A little tiny bit of formaldehyde on the nose.
Yes. We're big with food topics. We have never gotten a hit, as big a hit is when you talked about your preference for the 4th of July of corn on the cob or niblet corn. It is the biggest viewing sensation. It's got insane views, well over 4,000 views. And for the life of me, I have no idea why. But it killed this month. Who knows?
I do what I can. I do what I can.
Henry does this. Mm-hmm. And 2 cities, Melbourne and Sydney, big shout out to them. They are our international fans. We must, g'day, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie, Sydney and Melbourne. They're huge viewers there. Are you the type of person who gives a comments or does Yelp reviews? Do you like doing that kind of thing?
Who's got time for that?
Yeah,
it has to be like a paid incentive. If at the restaurant they'll say, you know what, we'll give you a free dessert
Yeah, free penny.
after you do your Yelp review. Then I'm in.
Yeah, and
And
has
I'll
that ever
talk
happened?
about.
It's never happened to me.
I always go, the TripAdvisor, and when the number one restaurant in town is, is Captain D's. It's probably because the owner of Captain D's is giving out a free dessert.
Yep,
You have to take
he's
those with a
wise.
grain of salt.
Yeah, he's very wise. And this is how bad AI is. We have a restaurant that we love, and just a delightful steakhouse. And I just put it in Google Maps. Just put Google Maps to get there, and we got there, and then it just said, oh, did you get there, and how was your meal? I clicked on. I mean, it was easy, 4 stars. Well, it constantly hounds me now. Hey, do you know how many people read your review of the steakhouse? I'm like, what review? Do you have some photos you can upload? Hey, would you like to send 2 orphans from Mexico to that steakhouse? Like, I get endless emails about what I accidentally commented on, and I will never do it again, Henry. Free Benny or dessert, it doesn't matter. I don't need that. Like you say, a little too much time for something that's not
I
going to
got
pay
that.
you.
I was, and then, we followed up with just recently Father's Day.
Yeah.
So I was walking through the grocery store, and there was an it's an AI generated Father's Day card. And I said,
Wow.
if anybody gets me this Father's Day card, I'm going to slap them silly. Because it had the AI generated, oh, let's put some sports cars on this
Oh, that's awesome.
card, but we don't want to pay Porsche for it. So
Yeah.
we're going to take a Porsche 356 and put a grill on it on the front. So it's got this AI generated grill onto the front of a Porsche 356. And I said, this is AI insulting our
Yes, and we're suckers.
insulting us.
We're suckers for that because it does work. I mean, the problem. Oh, it's all over the place. And now they create fake articles all the time. So constantly, if you happen to read articles, you now have to decide: is this just clickbait or has it just been made up? So I'll click on it and make them some money.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
my feed is constantly barraged with, these stories from World War II that they're, putting out there like it just happened this afternoon.
oh, nice, nice.
Germans surrender Paris. Details at 8.
You won't believe what just happened in Paris. I love that.
Yes, if the stuff were bombed, ugh. Where is the truth?
Well, it will be impossible in the future to be able to see the difference because we won't know. And latest show that I'm watching is called Murderbot, and it's a sci-fi show on Apple TV Plus, and it's good. It's funny and interesting. It stars a Scar family member. He had a recollection of his dad dancing the naked salsa in the room when he was a young person. Did your dad ever dance the nude salsa?
No, he never did. That strangely, yeah, that probably would have. Doesn't that get you in jail?
Or your kids have a therapist.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's like, can you afford it? That would be. You
Have
can't
you-
unsee that.
Yeah, that's burnt
There's a
in
little chicken in a basket. Oh.
mushroom cap alert. Henry, have you ever needed therapy throughout your life?
Well, it depends on who you ask, right?
Oh, I've needed it.
No, I'm not. I'm not volunteering for therapy. It's
No,
like
I'm not
a
going.
jock, maybe.
I need it, though. I need therapy.
Ugh.
Well, until next week, bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Checking In with Hein and Johnny. You can follow all things Hein and Johnny by subscribing to Checking In with Hein and Johnny anywhere you listen to podcasts. Checking In with Heiny and Johnny is sponsored by Conveyors and Equipment. They supply, design, and service all types of conveyors, belting, and material handling equipment since 1972. With 3 locations to serve you, Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, and El Paso. Find them on the web at conveyequip.com. That's ConveyeEquuip.com.